Welcome everyone. It is 5 o'clock on Saturday. I was supposed to be in bed right now, but I woke up, had this crazy dream. I should probably make a video about the crazy dream I had. It was about the government in the future, like a couple years down the road. I think Obama was still president, and he was going to kill some people with a drone attack or some kind of bombing of some country. And these reporters were protesting and they made this like napalm foam, like shaving cream, and they put it all over their face, or this one did, and then the others kind of put it on their foreheads to they wired the button for when Obama clicks the thing, it burns his face off. Is it like a protest, so they'll see that he burned some people's faces off when he also killed all these people. It was a pretty crazy dream I had, but anyway, that woke me up, and I looked on Skype, and there's this message that Path of Exile had some crazy shit go down today. Like 3 hours ago, Kripparrian has died. Not the actual person, but his character in game and hardcore ladder. And the story is pretty amazing. That's what makes this game so great. I was going to make a video anyway about what makes Path of Exile so good, like what they got right. Because it is pretty much, if you wanted a new Diablo 2 game, that's what it is. It's like Diablo 2 with 3D graphics, but a lot of different shit, but it's still that same kind of fun. I was going to make a video about what they got right, and this is a good example of what they get right. I was looking on the website last night, and they got these things called maps. I was talking about in my last video. If you go to the development diary, you go to like the items, and you go to the bottom where it says maps, and look at the development diary, what they did. Once you get level 60 or 65, you can't really progress doing the normal game. You get to the last difficulty, you go to the last boss, and I don't think you're going to gain much XP after level 60, 65. So the level cap is 100. And the way you progress is you get these things called maps, which are items, which is genius because they have different stats that you can modify and change, but they're whole new areas. Like if you were playing Diablo 2 and you did Ubertrist, it's like an Ubertrist that's randomized based on what you get. So it's like a whole new level. Nobody has ever done anything like this before in a game, I think. So for example, like a blue one, it says players have blood magic, so if you use mana, you're going to have to cast spells with your health, like it or not, and the monsters have 27% increased monster life. This is like a blue, a magical, not like a white one. And you can only use the map one time. That's what's weird about it. You use the map, it opens up 6 portals. So if you're one person, you can get 6 attempts to get all the loot in the map and get back out with it. If you're a big party of 6, you get 1 shot. So if there's like 2 people trying to 2-man it, you can get 3 shots. So you get in, you get out, and you get as much loot as you can. You try to kill the boss if you can. Some of the bosses are going to be similar, so you can kind of learn different maps, like learn the bosses and help other people out. But here's where I freaked out when I saw this, because I was like, oh my god, that's genius. The monster level of the area is based on the map you find. Let me try to explain what that is. Like Act 3, final boss, hardest normal part of the game, monster levels are going to be 60. But the normal monsters will be 60, and the rare monsters will be like 64 or something. So those guys can drop a level 64 map. Now, if you use a 64 level map, you go into that map, those monsters will be level 64, with the rare monsters being level 68. So the only way to get higher level maps, to get higher XP, is to get higher level maps from within those harder maps. And keep getting harder maps and harder maps and harder maps. And if you get like super rare ones, the rarer they are, the harder they are, and the more likely they are to kick your ass. So, think about that for just a second. Let that soak in. It's kind of like they had this thing called the Maelstrom of Chaos that was just like randomized new places with new bosses. It just kind of randomized it, but then they decided they're going to do this map system. And you can modify the map with this cartographer's chisels. You can like add something to it. Here's a rare one that says, area has patches of burning ground. You got to avoid that. Players are always cursed with Warlord's Mark, which is I think it's a mana leech thing, so you're always getting your life leeched. Players can't regenerate life or mana. Monsters can't be stunned. Half of your monster damage is converted to fire, and monsters deal 30% extra fire damage. So that's going to be a crazy burning hell of a map. That's a rare with like 6 mods on it, but you get 46 item quantity. And then there's like this one map they have shown. It's a unique map. Actually found a unique a couple days ago called a Carnage Heart Amulet, by the way. I didn't make a video about it, but it has all these crazy stats, and it has extra gore on it. When you hit stuff, it makes it bleed and all bloody, and you hit skeletons and the bones fly off. It's pretty crazy. Let's see, This unique map called Vaults of Atziri is like 2000% increased item rarity, area contains no monsters. So that's pretty much just a reward for finding an awesome unique map. You go in and it's just like treasure chests full of awesome loot, I guess. So you just go in like with empty inventory and get as much shit as you can. So let's see, the variable difficulty. Yeah, I don't think this game's gonna get boring for a while because of maps. It's random. You gotta figure shit out. Everything's gonna be different. So Kripparrian apparently was playing with the number 5 on the ladder, and he was number 1. And somebody else was with them, and like another guy. They were in some high-level map. There was 2 unique bosses, and one of them had corpse explosion. They killed the other boss, and the corpse exploded that boss, and it does like 18% of the boss's health, so that's probably enough to kill most people. It wiped out 3 hardcore guys all at once, and it's pretty amazing on the stream. I'll put a link to this part in the stream where they died. It's pretty cool. But that makes it really interesting. And I was looking at Hardcore Ladder, which I probably should have done this. If you die in Hardcore, you don't really die permanently. It just kicks you over to the Softcore, or the default ladder is what they call it. So I guess Kripparrian is still number 2 on the Softcore ladder because he was, yeah, he's like number 2. The guy Beer that died also is now number 1. I guess he passed him after they died. And then Zoli Seakek is number 5. He was number 5 on the hardcore ladder when they died. I think that's the 3 guys that died. And then you got this guy, what is his name? Nguyen. He's still number 1 on the hardcore ladder, I think. He's a ranger. There's like 3 guys tied at level 85, but he has a bit more XP. So it's pretty amazing stuff. The way they did the map system. That was only one thing that they did right, though. They did everything else right. First, stable economy. The economy is always going to be stable. Because you go to vendors, you can buy the currency kind of items, the orbs of alchemy and different things are always, you can buy them from the vendor for 2 of like some lesser kind of price. So that what keeps the economy stable, is that something can never be worth more than what it is from the vendor. What was another thing that they did right? Remember how in Diablo 1 and 2, I guess mostly just 1, they had duping. In the game, there's a super rare item called the Mirror of Calandra where you can dupe an item using that really super rare item. So the drawback is that you can't change it once it's been duped. Once you have a mirror copy of something awesome, you can't change like the number of sockets in it or the color of the sockets, or like re-roll it or anything. You just have to, you're stuck with whatever got duped. Kripparrian had one that somebody gave him so he could make a copy of his awesome shield that he had, and he gave it to that guy. So that was a pretty good deal. Like if somebody has something you want, you can just give them the mirror and they can mirror it for you. Oh, the game's free. That's a big selling point for a lot of people. There's no pay to win. You can pay to like make your character have a glowy hat or a glowy weapon, but that's pretty much all you can do. You can get more inventory slots. You can like name the tabs, I think, of them. But you can't win. You can't pay to like have a boost. You can also get animations, and you can get pets. You can make your skills look different. Like, for example, if you summon skeletons, you can get this skin that makes them look like these living statues, that like an enemy in the game. Oh, that's cool. You can make cold grasp effect look like a hand coming out of the ground. And if you want to donate $1,000 to the Kickstarter, you can design a unique item. There's this a set of mobs in the game called ribbons, which everybody thought was kind of weird. I thought that might have been like somebody that donated with Kickstarter and designed a boss or a monster. It's like these ribbons that float around and you gotta fight. And these look like giant curtains. It's kind of dumb looking, but I don't know, they're kind of fun to fight. You know how people complain about Warcraft and Diablo 3 being too rainbowy and unicorns and happy fun times? The art style in Path of Exile is really a lot better. I mean, you got these statues that are covered in gold and they're completely naked. You got these demons that have like their tits hanging out and they sling this shit at them. I call them titty slingers. I think they're called some kind of construct, or I don't know what they're called. But you got these dead people that are all like laying in big piles of huge dead bodies. You got these guys that are completely naked laying on the ground. You can see like the dick and balls outline. You can see the shape of it. You can see dead guys stuffed into baskets. People on torture racks with their tits hanging out. They really just went for the full-on gothic, gory kind of original Diablo style, and they, like, if you go look at the Diablo 3 compared to it, it's kind of stupid. It's like a bunch of rainbows and unicorns. I don't know if they're going to have a secret cow level type thing. That would be pretty awesome if they did. That would really just like put the nail in the coffin for Blizzard. I mean, Maybe they'll make a rare map that's a cow level. That would be awesome. But like one of the stats is that it opens up one portal and everybody can come in instead of having 6 portals. And it's just a bunch of cows. And it's not really anything special, but there's like a ton of them, and they're pretty hard to kill. For like level 65. That'd be pretty cool. So that's some of the reasons that I think this is like the new Diablo, and Blizzard pretty much failed with Diablo 3. Most people agree. Some people still play it. I don't know why, but I don't even know. When's like the new Diablo 3 expansion coming out? Like a year or so? I'm sure there's gonna be one. What the hell? This is what demigods is. I was watching the Kripparrian's video and he was talking about demigods. I didn't know what it was. 20% increased rarity of items, 20% to all resist, and then 20% increased character size, so you get bigger than other characters. That is fucking awesome. I really need to look into these uniques. See what the hell's going on with them. Okay, I didn't even realize this. There's these league things that, besides hardcore and default, I think later on they're going to add, because PvP I don't think is actually out yet, maybe? Leagues that modify the game rules. In Cutthroat League, you're able to invade other people's instances and kill them and take their items. So it's like the old PvP, like Diablo 2 when you go hostile. And then there's a Turbo League, monsters move and attack 60% faster than normal. So that's like people that do these instances over and over again and they get super fast. So that's pretty much all I wanted to say, is that Path of Exile is awesome. If you don't have it, definitely go download it. And rest in peace, Kripparrian. And does anybody else think Kripparrian looks like porn star Sasha Grey, or is that just me? The other thing they have in common is that their characters get fucked on the ass. See what it did there? You see what it did?